Bạn đã bao giờ muốn hiểu ai đó thật sâu sắc, đi xa hơn những cuộc trò chuyện thường ngày để chạm đến tâm hồn họ? Chào bạn, hôm nay chúng ta sẽ cùng khám phá 100 câu hỏi kết nối tâm hồn. Những câu hỏi không chỉ giúp bạn hiểu rõ hơn về người đối diện, mà còn giúp chính bạn khám phá bản thân mình. Đây không phải là những câu hỏi thông thường, chúng sẽ dẫn bạn vào những câu chuyện sâu sắc, những ước mơ thầm kín, những niềm vui, nỗi đau và những triết lý về cuộc sống. Nếu bạn muốn xây dựng những mối quan hệ ý nghĩa, hãy cùng mình đi qua hành trình này. Bạn đã sẵn sàng chưa? Câu hỏi đầu tiên sẽ khiến bạn phải suy ngẫm. Phần 1. Self-discovery. What is your biggest dream in life?
What life lesson has shaped you the most?
What's something you've always wanted to do, but haven't yet?
How do you define your purpose in life?
What's a belief that has changed over time for you?
What's the most transformative experience you've ever had?
How do you handle fear and uncertainty?
What does true happiness mean to you?
What's the greatest risk you've ever taken?
If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Section 2. Love and relationships. What does love mean to you?
How do you know when you truly love someone?
What do you value most in a relationship?
Have you ever had a love that changed you?
How do you show love to others?
What's the most meaningful act of love someone has done for you?
Do you believe in soulmates? Why or why not?
What scares you the most about love?
How do you handle heartbreak?
What's the most important lesson you've learned about relationships? What is something that brings you peace?
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Why?
What do you think your sole purpose is in this lifetime?
How do you recharge your spirit when you feel drained?
What's something that always makes you feel alive?
Do you believe in destiny or do we create our own path?
What's a lesson life keeps teaching you over and over? What do you think happens after we die?
If you could master one skill instantly, what would it be?
What's a personal habit that has improved your life?
How do you know when you can truly trust someone?
What's your love language?
Do you believe love should be effortless or require work?
What's the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
What do you find most attractive in a person?
How do you handle conflict in a relationship? What's something you want to experience in love that you haven't yet?
What does a healthy relationship look like to you?
What's something you would never compromise in a relationship?
How do you define family?
What's a childhood memory that shaped who you are today?
What do you cherish most about your friendships?
How do you handle losing a friend?
What's the best piece of advice a family member has ever given you?
Do you believe friendships can last a lifetime? Why or why not?
What values did your parents instill in you that you still carry today?
How do you create deep connections with people?
What do you think makes a friendship truly special?
If you could spend one perfect day with a loved one, what would it look like?
Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
What gives your life meaning?
Do you feel connected to something greater than yourself?
How do you practice gratitude in your life?
What's a sign from the universe that you pay attention to?
How do you find peace during difficult times?
What's something you believe in that others may not?
If you could ask the universe one question, what would it be?
What is a dream you've never told anyone?
If you have unlimited time and resources, what would you do?
What legacy do you hope to leave behind?
What's one goal you're currently working toward?
Have you ever pursued something just because it felt right in your soul?
What fears have held you back from chasing your dreams?
If you could wake up tomorrow with a new talent, what would it be?
What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
What motivates you to keep going even when things get tough?
What's something you're really proud of accomplishing?
What's the time you felt truly seen and understood?
How do you handle heartbreak?
What's a fear you've overcome?
Do you find it easy or difficult to express your emotions?
What's something you wish people understood about you?
What's the most vulnerable thing you've ever shared with someone?
Do you believe vulnerability is a strength or a weakness?
How do you comfort yourself when you're feeling down?
How do you want to be loved when you are at your lowest?
What's something that always makes you cry? What's one small thing that brings you immense happiness?
What's your happiest memory?
What's a song that instantly lifts your mood?
If you could relive one day of your life, which one would it be? How do you create joy in your daily life?
What's a tradition that makes you happy?
Do you believe happiness is a choice? Why or why not?
What does a perfect day look like to you?
How do you celebrate your accomplishments?
What do you want to be remembered for?
If you knew you only had 1 year left to live, how would you spend it?
What's your biggest regret in life?
How do you cope with the idea of mortality?
What's a lesson death has taught you about life?
If you could leave one message for the world, what would it be? How do you define a life well lived?